Hi, everybody. How you doing? My name is Ryan Anderson. I'm the Associate Dean of Business and Entrepreneurship here at Mohawk. Really excited to welcome you to our snackable session today. I'd like to introduce you quickly to one of my favorite alumni entrepreneurs, Katie Sear, who's the owner of Monarch Tea Company. Fantastic business, fantastic idea that was born right from Mohawk College and right from Katie's amazing sense of creativity and amusement. So I'm excited to talk to you today, Katie. Thank you very much.
Hi,
Why don't
Ryan.
we
Thanks for
talk a
having
little
me.
bit just about you getting started? What was your idea and in your early journey into entrepreneurship?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm Katie. I own the Monarch Tea Co here in Hamilton, Ontario. Yeah, I always loved tea from a very young age. My first memory, about 5 years old, having a cup of tea with my grandmother and having a special teacup. So it was always something I loved to do and a ritual I relied on kind of throughout my years. And it wasn't until I was probably around like 19, 20, I just started micro blending tea at home. So I'd buy different loose leaf tea, start kind of creating my own small batches and just serving them to family and friends or enjoying them for myself. So I started thinking, oh, I want something for a sore throat. I'm going to try doing this and this, or, oh, I want something to relax or looking something for energy. So just super small batch, just for personal use and for family and friends when they'd come over. From there, I just started really enjoying it and really learning about tea, buying different books on it, and just starting to kind of educate myself on the art of tea. It wasn't until I was at work one day and a coworker had mentioned, oh, I saw Mohawk College is offering like a tea course. Have you heard of it? It's like, no, what are you talking about? I remember I ran to the work computer, like Googled it, found the continuing education website, looked through it, found the Tea Sommelier program through continuing education. So immediately I was like, I need to take this, signed up right away, like asked permission later and told work, hey, I'm going to need like Thursday nights off, whatever this is, and started taking the course. And it really helped solidify my knowledge as well as kind of light the fire under my butt to like, okay, you're actually learning this. You're with other people that have the similar interests. You're in a classroom environment. We're tasting the tea. We're talking about it and really like diving in fully. So it helped reaffirm my tea knowledge and teach me so much that I didn't know as well. So that's kind of where it all started from like a personal hobby to then taking the education to help reaffirm me and give me like the skills and tools I needed. And then from there, I started teaching tea workshops on the side. So it's kind of a whole journey that got to me where I am today.
It's incredible how, I talk to so many entrepreneurs, and it's incredible how their passion dictates their business venture, doesn't it? And that really is a neat sort of idea to go and say that you can take a passion and a love for something and then put a business around it too, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's neat. Now, how about your early days? Talk to us about your first little days getting started. What was your biggest challenge? What was that day that sort of hit you to say, holy moly, I'm in this now for real?
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm thinking back. So I was like taking the night school and then still was working full time. And then on the side, started offering these in person tea workshops. This is now about 7 years ago. And I wasn't a certified sommelier yet. So I would brand myself as an aspiring tea sommelier. So I was very clear, like, hey, I'm not certified, but I'm aspiring. And I would even start the talks with a disclaimer saying, like, I'm a student of tea, so I'm still learning. So if there's something I can't answer, I'll write down your question, get back to you later. I would bring my own teapots and tea to like people's homes or like corporate events and serve tea literally while talking about it. So I would just kind of pull up in my car, unload everything. Like, so there's all these little things that I'm in positions where I didn't know, I walk into someone's home, I had no idea who they were, but they hired me for, let's say, like a special event or a birthday party or a bridal shower, getting people together. Yeah, it was a lot of fun looking back some of the learnings. Like I used to offer them for very, very little money. So I would be like, oh, $10 a person is fine. Or sometimes I'd offer to do it for free because I would bring some tea to sell after, which now from learning, like I'm completely moved away from that model. And I'm very confident charging for what I offer. As I'm very, I feel confident with the knowledge and the experience that I'm providing. But when I was starting, I wasn't sure, and I wasn't sure I was worth that. But I'm still okay that I did that because it was a great way to get experience under my belt and start to work with clients, and start to know kind of what my value was and how to run a workshop and setting boundaries as well, setting invoices, like kind of just learning all of those things as I started. So there was some interesting stories. One involved me, a person gave me an antique teapot They just left me in their kitchen. They said, please serve me the tea in this teapot. My guests and I will be in the other room. So I start making the tea and the pot literally broke off and I'm holding the handle and the teapot had like fallen into the sink. And thankfully it didn't smash, but it completely broke off the handle. And I'm like, oh my God, did I just break this person's precious heirloom? I don't know what to do to this. So I quietly asked them to come and join me in the kitchen. And she was like, oh, that happens all the time. I've super glued that a million times. No worries. And I'm having a heart attack thinking I broke their precious heirloom. So that led me to get business insurance. So everything has led me to a different thing. And now I proudly have been paying business insurance for the past 6 years. And although I've never had to use it, knock on wood, it's one of those learning experiences because God forbid I'm at an event and happen to actually break someone's precious heirloom or spill tea on someone. So all of those little things led me to learn something new that I would need as a special tool.
And that really is, it speaks a lot to the bridge that a entrepreneur has to cross between taking that passion, taking their area of expertise, whether it be tea, whether it be design, whether it be advertising, whatever your background and your expertise is, to all of a sudden becoming a business person. And that really, to me, and it's, I know that you've gone through a lot of our programs, and that's one of the biggest learning, isn't it? Is, okay, I've got something. I know there's a demand. I know that there's interest in this. How do I package this around something to actually make some money and actually be a business person though? That's a big challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that jump from like passion and hobby to actually being a business person. And then from there, all those additional tools that you don't think of when it's something you're just passionate about. So you might love baking bread, but there's all those other things with breaking bread, like, marketing, accounting, financing, insurance, certifications, like all of those things. So it's like learning all those little tips and tricks and tools to help make your business successful.
When was that time when you realized, I'm now a business person? I'm no longer a person with a passion. I'm actually a business person.
I think I've had a few moments where it's just leading up to like a huge event, or let's say a tea show, I'm all I'm thinking about is doing that event properly. But there's that moment, this magical moment I've had where everything's set up and I'm literally in the moment, let's say at a huge trade show, and I'm like serving tea to customers and selling it. And I'm in the midst and it's happening. I'm set up, I'm ready, and I'm actually in the thick of it. And it feels like I kind of take a second to just stand back and I'm like, I did it. I'm here. This is it. It's kind of like leading up to a day that you've been thinking about and then actually realize you're in it. So that happens to me almost every time I'm in the midst of something, once it's already started. So usually leading up to it, I'm so focused on just doing the event properly. But when you have that moment of realization where you can step back and realize I'm about to walk on stage and speak to 1,000 people at the Toronto Tea Festival, for example, and it's like, wow, I'm real. I never thought I would get to this moment. So it happens honestly still to this day that when you're in the thick of it and when you're in the moment of doing that thing you love and realize like, oh, cool, I'm actually doing this. This is real. So.
And you've had some great business milestones, everything from hiring somebody to opening up an area that you can actually house some of your things, so it's not in your living room anymore, as you and I talked about before. And those are amazing business milestones too, aren't they? They're scary. Oh,
absolutely.
when all of a sudden the bills start going up a little further and a little faster. But those are fantastic milestones that I know we're so happy to hear about. And your awards actually, both with our pitch competition as well as First Ontario. I mean, it's been a phenomenal venture in such a short time too, right? So I'll sort of summarize this session by one question, and we always like this. What is Katie's tip? What's the one tip that you would give to a student, either watching now or someone in our community that's toying with making, a idea / passion a venture? What's that one tip you'd give them?
I have two, if that's okay. So
we'll get to, yes.
The first one would be if someone's just toying or thinking about it and not sure. And I'm sure a lot of people give this advice, but I would just say, just do it. Dive in. Don't let fear hold you back. It's okay to even do things in baby steps. So myself, when I started, I had very, very little money, was literally working just almost minimum wage, but I just started chipping away one thing at a time. So starting with a graphic designer, starting to maybe just buy a small bit of packaging, even if it was 50 packages so I could fill my tea in it, one thing at a time. Just start making those baby steps towards your goal. Don't let fear hold you back. And it's worth it. Life is too short. And if one thing we've learned from COVID, it's people taking that leap. So I would really, really suggest just try it and see what happens is my first thing. My second tip is just honestly personal learning. I was making some notes before this, is just very practical, is once you've started your business and you're doing it, never settle, always keep researching and looking for better ways and more efficient ways to do your business. I made just a couple small notes, like something as simple as, like, I'm thinking when I first started my business and I would had a website and I would sell online, and I used to handwrite my shipping labels and literally like go to Canada Post, wait in line, give them the package, they'd weigh it, da, da, da. I was doing that for years, and it literally took me until very, very recently, like a good year and a half ago, so like honestly COVID, till I realized, oh my gosh, not only is there like courier programs and shipping things I can do where I can buy one of those printers and it synchronizes to my website. And now any web order I have, it auto ships. And I just press ship and a courier comes right to my house and ships my packages. And it has literally changed my life. But it was one of those things that for so long, I was just doing the archaic way because I didn't research, I didn't keep evolving and look. My website orders used to be really, really small. Now they're huge. So there's no way I could be writing like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of labels a day. But it's just one of those things where, like, don't settle and always look at how you can do things better. That's just, I have hundreds of examples I could give, but I'm like embarrassed it took me so long, but I'm so happy to continue to look. And not only that, I found one courier that I was working with. It was great. Someone called me on a sales call and asked, can I give a few minutes of your time to explain our new shipping platform? Thankfully, I said yes, because now I work with a way better shipping platform that makes my life 1000% easier. It's all these little things, so just keep looking. I could keep going on, but I just want to give.
It's funny, sometimes you set milestones and benchmarks for yourself as an entrepreneur, because there's things that you want to accomplish and you do, and there's that danger of getting comfortable, and there's that danger of going and saying, okay, well, I can pay my bills now and I've got that. And I've been through there in my own business career where you sort of go and say, oh, you know what? I have to really get enthused to go to the next step. And sometimes you don't even know what that next step is. And it's really pushing forward. So I think, the lesson for our students there is number one, be bold, go for it. Failing as an entrepreneur is very natural. You're never, ever not going to fail. And sometimes those are the best lessons in the whole entire world. And number two, always look for better ways, and always look to find a cheaper way, find a faster way, especially at a time during COVID when we all have had these challenges. So, Katie, this has been fantastic. And I always enjoy talking to you. And one of the things that I'll end with here is, you are very much your brand. And as an entrepreneur that's a single owner entrepreneur, you are the best salesperson. You are the best product expert. You are the best marketer, the best packager. But one of the things that I want our students in our community to realize is you also are the brand of this, and you are the best salesperson. And for entrepreneurs, they have to be that way as well. They have to be professional. They have to be presentable. They have to have energy. And you certainly have all of those. So thanks so much, Katie, for talking. I know we'll be on some other sessions, but it's always so much fun.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
Okay. Thanks. Take care.
Bye.